active and associate members, and really want to thank you for making this such an amazingly fun job. Now, just jumping into the brass tacks. So let's get social, and we can, I'm going to take it away and then open the floor for questions after this presentation. So, what is the state of our social union right now? I'm sure many of you have used and strategized and developed many pieces of content for the salient players of social media union. So social media has evolved over the years, but the biggest players, the players that really matter and their traffic, they really haven't changed. So let's start with the top. Facebook. Facebook grew from a few hundred users at a college campus, I'm sure some of you saw the movie Social Network, to 1.59 billion monthly active users. So I'm sure many of you are on Facebook, which is exactly a good thing to do in terms of getting consumer messages out there, because there are a lot of active users on Facebook. YouTube, with 1 billion website visitors per month, is next in line, followed by LinkedIn, which is beloved among professional organizations with 400 million registered users. There's also Google Plus with 418 active million users. Twitter, only 140 characters, you got to get your message out fast, with 320 million active monthly users. Pinterest, 100 million users, and now the very popular Snapchat with 100 million daily active users. And that's the reason why a lot of people are jumping on Snapchat. It's not a monthly figure that you're seeing, it's actually a daily figure. So those are the major players of the social media union right now. You have the others like Tumblr, and I'm sure you heard of Vine. That was a sort of blip on the radar a few years ago, but not a lot of people are using Vine anymore, sadly. So there are social media channels that sprout up and sort of fade away, but these have stood the test of time. So moving right along to the next slide. What matters? Now, these platforms are all great, but in the end, the goal is to communicate messages. And not every single platform has the same strategy as the other. So what is unique about each platform? Twitter is fantastic if you just want to scan a headline and click a link to a blog post, because it's only 140 characters, although they say that they're looking to extend that. Facebook has always been great for visuals, videos, and conversations. USTOA has had much success doing monthly Facebook chats, and the conversations have unfolded through the comment section of the timeline. So that's what Facebook's really ideal for, and also just to keep abreast of what your friends are doing. LinkedIn is ideal for professional updates and also networking. And I want to draw your attention to the thumbnail, the picture that you can see on the far right-hand side. This was a fun resume that Marissa Mayer, the CEO of Yahoo, posted a few days ago. And it did the rounds on LinkedIn, and it was really funny because everyone said, hey, if Marissa Mayer can get her resume on one page, you can too. And that was a fun thing for LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, I'm sure a lot of people, they use it for references, for business connections, for passing resumes, pieces of content. You can also endorse people for skills. It's wonderful to get endorsements on public speaking, on your, how you've managed a previous position, perhaps. And all of that will work to build your LinkedIn profile. And it's basically the most popular professional social media network online today. Instagram, which was acquired by Facebook a couple of years ago, is known for beautiful photos and capturing a sense of place. Actually, right now, USTOA has an FR ambassador, Flash Parker, who's going through several of the national parks, beautifully capturing photos. And you can actually see on an Instagram feed what a sense of place is, even without looking at the text. Recently, Instagram introduced, it had an edit feature where you can edit your captions. And also there's an opportunity to regram your Instagram, which means you can send it to many of your followers. And because Instagram is now a part of Facebook, there's a lot of similarities that you see between Facebook and Instagram. So, in essence, all these platforms are necessary for communication, but hopefully your business will find the right message to put on the right platform, because not all platforms are created equal. So I want to draw your attention now to what our members are doing. We're very, very fortunate to have members who know the power of social. We learn from them every single day, and it's marvelous to see how many followers they have and what they're doing. Abercrombie and Kent, for example, has 49,218 followers in Facebook. They post beautiful pictures of places, encouraging followers to journey there, to ask questions, to click links on brochures, to interact. Colette has 42,084 followers on Facebook, and it adopts a similar strategy. Tauk has 5,371 followers on Twitter, is so active. Visit Jordan has nearly 500,000 followers on Facebook, and Visit Florida over 700,000 followers. And what each of these destinations is doing is to create a love for and awareness of the place by posting pictures, testimonials, videos, and hashtags of their particular destinations. So our members definitely know the power of social. So what are other non-travel companies doing in terms of engaging with followers? And again, it really helps to also see it's not just a matter of creating channels. It's a matter of being actively involved and engaging with followers on a day-to-day basis. The Metropolitan Museum, for example, engages with its 1.85 million Twitter followers, and that's a lot. It's a lot of Twitter followers to engage with on a daily basis, with updates. They have updates every 3 hours on exhibits and other relevant topics. They post on periods, on exhibits that are slowly coming to a conclusion, any guest speakers they have. Diane von Furstenberg, who I'm sure a lot of you know is a very well-known fashion designer, engages with her over 900,000 Twitter followers with regular and creative updates. I'm sure a lot of you have blog posts. DVF actually has one of those, it takes a creative approach by introducing horoscopes and encouraging people to follow a horoscope-related blog. And that's something that Diane von Furstenberg is particularly passionate about. Mindy Kaling keeps it real with her over 780,000 Facebook fans. And it's really great. If you go to her Facebook page, you can expect to find a certain level of jocularity that you would find on her show on Facebook. So in other words, her brand extends from real life to social life. And so in keeping with your voice, it always helps to find creative but genuine ways to engage with followers, because people really want to see a social channel that is an extension of your persona. So what do people really care about? It's finding shareable content. The sharing economy has put the pressure on companies and organizations to not only create content, but content that people will want to post, exchange, tweet, text, and pin. And I'm sure many of you have heard the word viral, and that's a word that people either intensely like or intensely dislike. But it's an overused and often imprecise word. But it describes content that's extremely sticky and extremely popular. The idea is to create content that everyone will want to read or see. I'll give you a case. I'll give you an example. In 2015, there was a lot of political news, including the legalization of gay marriage, there was Paris terror attacks, etc. But the top posts on Facebook tended to center around lifestyle and human beings and their stories. So the most popular post on Facebook actually was the picture that you see below here of a young child saying, "Can I get 1 million likes?" And this was posted on Facebook. "I beat cancer." And everyone loved this very touching moment that was posted. And that was the most tweeted and shared piece of content in 2015. So videos, photos, and nostalgia, they tend to do really, really well on social media. And we have a lot of videos that the USTUA has created for the Travel Together campaign, and we regularly share them on our Facebook wall, and we see that across the board. Zuckerberg said in March 2015 that Facebook's newsfeed will be mostly video in 5 years. So videos are your ally. Nostalgia is a very powerful sentiment. And I posted this picture here as an example of the power of nostalgia on social media. Being Mommy, which is a social media, it's a website and a blog, posted this photo in 2015, and this became one of the most shared pieces of content that year. And it garnered 6.8 million likes, and it's a very simple photo showcasing a moment between a mother and a child. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the hashtags TBT, which is Throwback Thursday, and Travel Tuesday. It really pays to surf on popular hashtags like Travel Tuesday and TBT because these hashtags tend to trend on Twitter. I don't know if you've logged in on Twitter and seen a list of hashtags that are trending on the left-hand side, but those are popular tags and they change pretty much hourly. And it really pays sometimes to get your brand and your channel out there just by putting a very simple popular hashtag at the end of your post so that more eyeballs can see that. So videos, photos, and nostalgia do very well. So what tends to really stand out? There are various strategies that people have and corporations have done, individuals have done that have really paid off. And here are a few. There are trendy hashtags like "why your bucket list sucks." Bucket list is one of the most searched for Twitter terms. And it's actually a fun exercise to see what are some of the most popular searches that you can get on Google and also on Twitter and Facebook. So "why your bucket list sucks" did really, really well on Twitter. And it was a simple thing to introduce. Short, fun videos with pets. Using animals has really, really been quite popular. I'm sure you've heard of BuzzFeed, which capitalizes a lot on fun pictures of cats and why cats are having a grumpy day. And people posting pictures of their pets have done very, very well because, humans, we tend to identify with that. And examples are: a cat has a field day in Paris, a dog's crazy day in Dubai. All these have done really, really well because people feel that it's a fun topic to look for. Challenges. There are some challenges to creating sticky content. Some brands like Old Spice and Expedia have asked consumers to challenge them to do fun things and responded with videos. I don't know if you remember Isaiah with Old Spice was challenged a few years ago to do crazy stuff like, ride a motorcycle or grow a beard. And he responded by actually doing these challenges and posting these videos on Twitter, gaining him lots and lots of followers because he kept it real, he engaged with his followers, and he kept it really, really fun. Plus, he did things that other people really wouldn't want to do, and they tossed the challenges out there because it's always fun to get other people to do a challenge you didn't want to do. So there are other ideas that have proved quite sticky in social media. Selfies, I'm sure you've seen selfie sticks and selfies, and some of our members have actually done selfie contests, which has been really, really popular. Encouraging photo shares and weekly Twitter chats, that's always done well. And to put users in charge. Right now, Flash Parker has taken over our Instagram channel as he goes around national parks. The taking over a channel right now seems to be quite popular. Celebrities have been asked to take over an Instagram channel or a Facebook channel to put their voice on a brand. So what can you do? You can put users in charge. Have them design a trip with members and encourage submissions and across all channels. The sky's the limit. But these are some of the items that have really been memorable over time in social media. So here are a few case studies that we looked at on campaigns and strategies that have worked. We looked at Visit Jordan and Tourism Australia for a couple of reasons. Visit Jordan has a sizable number of Facebook followers, over 466,000 Facebook followers, and it has consistently engaged with bloggers and encouraged them to visit and to post videos on channels. And the result is a social media blanket effect, despite all the political situations that's going on, and exposure on several channels. And Australia.com was recently named by Skift as one of the top travel sites in the world, top 25 travel sites in the world in 2015. And it's tough to gain and keep over 7.3 million Facebook fans. And they do a great job, and this is one example of a very successful channel. They put a lot of pictures, inspiring a sense of place, evoking a particular destination in Australia. And they frequently update their social channels, but also keep it casual. They use a lot of different data points. Recently, they showcased restaurants in Australia and islands, and so many ways to engage with various demographics. So they kept the content always relevant, but they also listened to their users, and they realized that there were various demographics and various types of people who are coming to their Facebook page. And even though some people feel social channels are not always one size fits all, it is possible to cater to various demographics on one particular channel, and that's what we learn from the success of Australia.com. So those are the two case studies we looked at. There are many more very, very successful tourism boards that and active members and associate members that are knocking it out of the park, but we wanted to focus on these two. So that's pretty much it in terms of our overall presentation, and we'd love to open up the floor for questions if there are any.
Thank you very much, Charu. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the insight. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, if you have some questions, you can click on the white bubble, which is at the bottom left corner. And when you click on that, you'll see a column where you can type your question, and we'll be happy to read it on the air, if you will, and we'll answer that. So we'll wait and see if there are any questions from our guests. And once again, thank you, Charo. This has been very helpful. I think, in a place or in a world where there are so many outlets and so many options, it's good to know what message is going in the right channel. That's one of the takeaways that I have from hearing you speak about what's happening in the social media world today.
Great. It's been a pleasure.
All right. It seems like there are no questions from any of the participants. And if that is the case, again, I thank you very much, Charu, and I thank all of the people that have joined us today. Just a quick reminder that we do have a webinar coming up in October. It's the travel insurance webinar, and you can register for that online. And of course, we are looking forward to seeing everyone at the annual conference and marketplace in Scottsdale, Arizona. So thank you, Charu. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.